If you're thinking of moving to Portugal or you already live in Portugal, there's been major changes that can completely reshape your future plans. Follow me through and you would know what they are. Portugal is quietly but firmly restructuring its immigration system, and today I'm going to break it down for you. First of all, I'm going to start with what the changes are, why it matters, and what it means for immigrants moving forward. Now, the biggest of all the policies is the longest route or the longest timeline to citizenship. We all know that before it was 5 years, but now it's been moved from 5 to 10 years. And not just that, before your time would have counted from the time you applied for the residency, but now it starts from when the residency permit was issued. So counting down your 10 years, if you're looking at the citizenship route, counting down from when the residence permit was issued you. Yes, that is the biggest one that most immigrants are really, really not so happy about. Now, the second one is focus on skilled workers. We know before, as at last year, some people even entered with work visa, right? Now it is only going to be for skilled workers. So if you are not a skilled worker, forget about Portugal for now. When we talk about skilled workers, we mean people with special technical skills like engineers, IT professionals, healthcare workers, researchers, and other high in demand skills. The aim is only to have immigrants who can directly affect or improve the economy of Portugal. I mean, who wouldn't want that? Fourthly, Portugal is closing its doors ajar policy, meaning they are now tightening their before relaxed policies that made it easier for people to come to Portugal, come live and stay in Portugal. But now they are shutting their doors gradually. So because the doors were formally open wide, a lot of people entered the country, some legally, some illegally. So they're trying to clean up the system on clearing old application backlogs. Because if you live in Portugal, you know that the bureaucratic system is quite slow because of a lot of backlog. So they're trying to restructure all these things, restoring full security checks on immigrants and closing loopholes that allowed unclear and informal residency pathways. Now, IMA, which is the Agency for Immigration and Asylum in Portugal, is clearing a huge backlog. Like I said before, Portugal has a huge backlog. And to clear all these things, they are now extended the validity of expired resident cards, meaning those of us here whose resident cards are expired. Now, in order to clear all these backlogs, they have extended the validity of your expired what residency card, but that is only accessible within Portugal, not outside Portugal. So if you're already in Portugal with an expired residency card, you cannot go anywhere. You can only be within Portugal, right? And then the renewal process also has been improved because they've opened an online website where people can renew their expired residency card over there. Now, the next thing is in relation to family reunification, right? Now, the new policies, one of them is the fact that you have to have stayed or lived legally in Portugal for 2 years before you can start applying for family reunification. That means if you have a husband, you have a child, or whosoever, a dependent in your home country, you would have to have lived here 2 years before you can start or think about applying for family reunification. Now, this is a huge problem, right? Because a lot of people came without their families, and this is going to be a huge blow on their heads. But that is it. There's nothing we can do about it. So, if you came with the idea of reuniting with your family, then you would have to have lived here for a period of 2 years before. Again, a new legal framework has been approved to return all undocumented immigrants back to their countries. Let me put it this way: all illegal immigrants or undocumented immigrants in Portugal. There is a framework that has been approved to send them back to their countries. So, yes, that is also one of the policies. Now, what does these changes mean for immigrants? Well, firstly, the route to citizenship has been made longer, right? So you'd have to wait longer years, probably over 10 years, before getting your citizenship in Portugal. Secondly, the route of tourists to resident permit is cancelled, is ruled out. So you cannot come here with a tourist visa and then change into a resident permit. That route is ruled out. And then thirdly, they are only looking at skilled workers, looking for immigrants that can contribute positively into the economy. So, if you're an immigrant thinking of coming, you should consider all these things before coming. And for the student route, if you're thinking of using that route, in recent times, we've started seeing a decline in the number of foreign student admission instead. Um, and also, even those that were able to gain admission into schools in Portugal are facing difficulties in applying for visa in their home countries. So, yes, that route as a student too is also being quite tightened. So, yes, all these routes, before you make a decision with whichever one that you're going to come through, you should do your research very well and be well informed and be aware of the difficulties you're probably going to face before you make the decision. In general, I would say Portugal is not actually closing its doors to immigrants. No, the idea is actually deciding who it opens its doors to. So if you are planning on moving to Portugal now, um, the strategy you must apply is patience, preparation, and purpose. So this is all I have for you today. I hope I gave you enough tips and information that you might be requiring to make your decision. So do as you may with this information that I've given you, and then see you in my next videos. Ciao.